honestly, it's a boring answer. Tegan stood out more than Sara because at the time when we were creating our band name in the 90s, there was a lot of artists who had the name Sara. Sarah McLachlan, Sarah Slean, other ones I can't think of right now. But yes, so we thought Tegan would sort of, somebody, if you were going to remember the name, you would spend more time thinking about the name Tegan because it wasn't as traditional. So no competition, I make more money. Yes. Black shirt, sunglasses.
Favorite concert of all time?
Favorite concert of all time. Okay, so Smashing Pumpkins in about 1995 or 6. I was a big Smashing Pumpkins fan, and they came through on the Infinite Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness tour. I saw them in Calgary, and I also flew to Vancouver with my dad and Tegan and a friend, Shannon. Her name was Shannon. And so we went to see the concert there as well, and that was thrilling. Also saw Bruce Springsteen and New Kids on the Block when I was 8. It was rad. Next question. Yep. Okay. Yes. Do you? Is this a big thing? Drinking out of shoes, guys, right here. It's been confirmed. It's huge. It's a huge thing. Wow, shoot the boot. I'm going to be seeing a lot of people like this. You know, you go on these tours and you learn things, and then you go home and people say, how was the tour? And you say, oh, you know, there was a horrible accident. Or you say, like, you know, we met Jesus or whatever. And this time it's just going to be shoot the boot. You know, but do you, okay. Ski boots, great, okay. People are starving around the world. Yeah. Okay. Right, Tegan did rain on that parade, didn't she? This little storm cloud.
But you did kind of bring it up anyway.
You know, yeah, you did, so I'll answer it. What's your favorite book? Well, here's the thing, I don't have a favorite book, but I do think it's important to read, and I think the important thing is to read a lot of different stuff and then hone in and just, you know, you sort of focus on something that you really, really love. And I think that the easiest way to sort of, you know, like you just said that you bought Essex County, which is a book that I really enjoyed, and I was championing on Canada Reads on CBC, sort of literary, you know, a word show of sorts, and I think that the easiest way to sort of spread sort of the idea of good reading and literacy is to whatever you hear that I like. I think that you can sort of find the lineage. You know, you go back. What Jeff Lemire, who wrote Essex County, you go and look and see what does Jeff Lemire read. What inspires him. And I think that it's not that I don't have favorite books or I don't have things to endorse, but I also think that sometimes it's really good. Like you should go and whatever has sort of like floated your boat. Okay, we didn't write a book recently, but if you like what floats our boats, I bet you can find so many more things that floats boats of other people who floated next to the things that we both float with. But off the top of my head, something that I really, a person that I really love is this woman, Rivka Gelchin. It's kind of a confusing name, but it's fine. You'll find it. She wrote a book called Atmospheric Disturbances, and that's what I love right now. Buy it.
Can't download it.
Can't download it yet.
You can on an iBook or something?
Probably. It's true. I'm still really old-fashioned. I know it's sort of like Kindle, yeah. Is that what they're called?
Yes.
Kindles. I really feel like everybody's moving towards the electronic book, but I still really love the paper and the paper cuts and the book. And yeah, I know. It's gone though. It's gonna leave. It's not gonna be around for a long time.
Okay.
But yeah.
Let's do 2 more questions, Jamie.
Hi. My friends and I, we kind of joke about a list of artists that we feel like made good music until they got happy.
Yeah.
And you guys have made really fantastic music from like really bad places you've been in personally.
Yeah.
And it really sucks, you know, to have to go through those things. But I just wonder, you know, if you end up in a place where you feel happy and well-adjusted, do you feel like you can make, you know, stuff that's that intense and, you know.
I'll get back to you when I feel that way. I'm not sure that there's been a time in our life where we would have classified ourselves as happy or well-adjusted, but
hypothetically.
But I do think hypothetically, it's not that people can't write great music when they're happy. I think people are busy doing other things, and that's why they're happy. Art can be a bit of a black hole. So, but I think in our history, we've always chosen to write records when we feel absolutely miserable. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think you can write it when you're happy too, though. Okay, I'm gonna pick someone from the back. I feel like I'm favoring. Right in the back. Yes, you. Yeah, you. Hi.
Yes, the
Do we
question
have favorite
favorite venues where we like to play, those types of things.
Calgary, this venue right
Yeah.
now.
I was actually going to say that no matter what happens, whether you like a venue or you don't, it's about the audience. You know, you could want to play a venue, for example, the Grand Ole Opry, very famous, Nashville. You know, if you don't have a good audience, you know, you can be super bummed out on a show. So I always find that the best shows come when you have a fantastic audience.
It's on your shoulders, you
It's
guys.
really on your shoulders.
Seriously.
It truly
Get
is.
with it.
We have this thing where just let me, I'm just gonna ... But I was gonna say that every once in a while we'll show up to a venue and it's the worst room and you have a terrible soundtrack and then you'll have the best show. Yeah, just because the audience is fantastic. Yep, down here, right front. Yep, wait, yep, you. No, oh, but I want to pick you now, but no, come behind you. Yeah, you.
Obviously, there's a lot of people who have said they know you from around, but I was just wondering if you have a favorite nostalgic Calgary moment and what are both of you, so I'm assuming they're different.
I thought you were gonna say that you know us too, and I was like,
No.
oh God, no. It's really happening.
Being here,
Yeah. Our favorite nostalgic moment for Calgary, I mean, honestly, we had such an amazing childhood and here, like leaving Calgary was part of our life journey, but honestly, everything about Calgary just like, a couple of our friends recently have moved back here temporarily. I'm saying that for their own sake, because A, they're not allowed to stay here, and B, they'll probably drop dead if I was like implied in any way they're staying. But in any case, they are back and all they talk about is like one text after another, like Calgary's dripping in nostalgia. Like it's like everywhere we go we have memories. We were very active teenagers. We were hanging out here and there and going here and there and saw concerts and went skiing and you know, smoked pot and like and did all sorts of craziness. And so we have a lot of great memories and we moved a lot, so we saw a lot of the city while we were here. So I can't pin down one thing, but this morning I was going through photo albums and I was looking specifically from 1987 to 1989, and you know those were great years in Calgary. I mean, it was a boom, and we won the Stanley Cup, and we got the Olympics, and we had awesome 80s hair, and as a city collectively, we were, I think, just totally awesome. And so I couldn't pin down one thing or another, but I did go to Peter's Drive-In today, and I felt like a lot of memories came back. Yeah, so. Sarah, do you have a specific memory?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I was walking around as well today and going to all the places that we used to go as kids, but we used to spend a lot of time walking around downtown on 17th and near the river, and my dad used to take us to St. Mary's. He used to call it the nunnery, and maybe that's actually what it's called, but anyway, and you know, I was also thinking a lot about Fish Creek, and I was thinking about Riley Park and how much we used to love that when we were kids. Does that exist still? Yeah. Riley Park, yeah, I remember that a lot. And I made a joke last night. Marlboro Mall, Southern Falls, spent a lot of time there. Used to work at A&B Sound, pretty sad that that's done. And worked at the zoo as well. Don't know if that's common knowledge. I lasted about 3 weeks. And worked at Robin's Donuts on 16th Avenue. Does that still exist? No. Are you kidding? What happened?
Everywhere you worked closed down. It's occurred. Tim Hortons happened.
I worked at Robin's Donuts. I do know how to make a jelly donut, and yeah. So I mean, same as you. Would you say that's what she said? Wow. I know how to make a jelly donut. That's repulsive. I don't even know what that could possibly be a euphemism for.
I'm not gonna explain it to you. Let's just do 2 more and then let's rock this shit out and finish this night, right? Yes, you're right there in the blue. Every day that I wake up when I want.
That's true.
Every night when I stand in front of an audience, like.
I was gonna say that there was a moment with Tegan, because we've done lots of really fantastic stuff together, but we were on Leno. It was for the con. we didn't do Jay Leno obviously for this last record, but I remember we'd done a lot of TV to this point. We'd done Letterman a few times, we did Conan, we'd done all these things. But I remember when we did Leno, because they have an actual curtain that comes across the stage, so it's unlike any other TV show where when you are about to be on the show, you actually have to walk out and there's a curtain in front of you and you can't see the audience, but you can hear Jay Leno. And I remember being sort of like, oh yeah, professional, we've done this whole TV thing before. But I remember walking out, we were gonna play the con, and I remember the producer, the woman who sort of ushered us out on stage, she was like, you're on in 30 seconds, you're gonna be great. And then she walked away, and I looked at Tegan, and I heard Jay Leno be like, giving the pitch, you know, here's this band, and da 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 da, and I remember my heart racing and looking at Tegan and being like, from fucking Jay Leno! Holy shit! Like, and then the curtain opened, and we were on Jay Leno, and it was like, that was a big moment, and I remember thinking, like, I felt that way when we were on Mike Bullard. Yeah. You do. I'm gonna take more from the back only because I'm favoring the front. Okay, yeah, you're right there. Gray shirt. Yeah. Sorry. You have our attention now. When will we settle down? Like get married and have like barefoot and pregnant? Okay, settle down. Step back from the microphone. Sarah just got back into a relationship after like years of being single, so we have to ease her into it. When will someone make an honest woman out of you? No. I think, step back. Honestly, it's hard. This lifestyle's really addictive, and sometimes I wonder that myself. My parents had us when they were really young, and like I look at pictures of them when they had us, and I look at us like when we were teenagers, and I'm practically the age that my parents were when we were teenagers, like practically. I'm starting to get close to that crossover period where like there's no point unless I adopt a 15-year-old that I'll ever have the experience that my parents have. Like I'm like too old, oh God, now it's over. And so there's this part of me that's so addicted to what I do, that's okay with me, and then I have points in time where I feel so upset about that, and I think, oh my God, I need to like settle down. And I don't know that I would use the word settle down, but I definitely think about touring less or maybe taking that step forward to have a kid, although all my friends are having kids, and what it does to your body and the stories they tell me, like they're using words like doula and like fucking like explosion and ripped my and I'm like, holy fucking shit, I will never do that to myself ever, no matter what. I'll just hire a surrogate. And so then I think that's how so my brain goes, okay, I really want a child that looks like me, so I want it to come out of me, but I don't want it to actually come out of me, so I need to sell a lot more records so I can afford to pay somebody to ruin their body for me. And then this whole, just like with the first part of what I was saying, then this whole other thing happens where like a friend of mine just had a baby and they cast her stomach right before, like weeks before the baby was born. And my girlfriend and I were over there and we both like put the cast on and put a shirt on and we're like walking around being like, she's an elf like me, and like the two of us were like, we looked so weird. Pregnant, like this baby was so big when it came out. It was like 400 pounds. Like, it was like the biggest baby you've ever seen. Its head's this big. I'm like carrying the baby, and then my girlfriend has the cat. I'm like looking at us, and I'm like, we're gonna be so tired if we ever have a baby because we're so little. We're gonna need, forget the surrogate. We're just gonna need someone. We're gonna have to hire someone to carry the baby for us. Like, we're gonna be like, I love you so much, baby. You're too big. I can't carry you. Mommy's so tired all the time. So that really wasn't an answer to your question. Fine young person in the back, second to last row, but I think I'm thinking about it, but not seriously. So, okay, I know I promised only 2 questions, but I feel like that was a weird way to end, so I'm gonna ask one more. Oh, I didn't take one from the back. Okay, this is officially the last question. You guys have been so patient and wonderful, and this was really fun, so thank you. Okay, yes, up there.
Looking back 10 years ago, how do you see your career, say 10 years from then, and how does it differ from now?
That's a great question, by the way. All these questions have been awesome. You guys are great. Okay, you've done really well. I think a lot of you heard that question because you have a very loud public speaking voice without a microphone, and very impressive. But yes, the answer to your question is that 10 years ago, I was just hopeful that that we would have a career. So the fact that the career is what it is.
it's gone way beyond what Tegan and I really, really hoped for.
I had no idea.
We didn't really have any idea. I mean, this sounds really silly, but I'm being serious. When we started our career, there was no internet.
Okay, that's not true. There was internet.
Okay, there was no internet that we had. Like, what you did on the internet was go on chat rooms and be like, and you didn't.
It wasn't even LOL yet.
No, LOL was not even in existence. Nobody even had this. And so we didn't really know exactly, like, basically the idea of a career was what other people had. Like, we didn't really imagine ourselves as having a career. So it really was almost like, we almost had a career before we even understood what a career really was. So it's much easier for me now to project into the future. And we are very, we're the type of people that definitely talk about things like 5-year plans and 10-year plans. And
Except when it comes to having babies.
except babies, that's a little bit, you got, you know.
I just hope I accidentally get pregnant and then have a baby. Like, and the work to do it when you're gay, like I just look at my girlfriend
Tegan
and I'm
just
like,
wants
can you just get pregnant? Don't tell me how it happened. Don't become friends with them, just show up pregnant. That
You
works for
basically
me.
want it to be like when we were kids in Easter. Like, you want to wake up on Easter morning and then there's a baby in a basket hanging from your.
Yes, I want my girlfriend to be like, just so you know, I've been keeping it from you, but I had the baby last night. It's all done.
And it's already 20.
Yeah. No, I want to raise it.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to abandon them during their childhood. I just want it to be there one morning. And all the stuff too. All the stuff to be there. The cradle and the chair that rocks and like.
You're how I imagine famous men like Tommy Lee. Like, he's just like, oh shit. I woke up with him as a fucking crib and a baby. There's like, okay, I'm just gonna finish your question. I hope that in some way this is still happening in 10 years. If it's this, or if it's bigger, or if it's even smaller, as long as we're happy, which we are, and as long as we're
But not happy enough because we're still writing sad songs.
as long as we're happy but sad at the same time, and I'm able to pay my bills. I mean, honestly, this is working for me. But who knows when you have kids and when
Ponies,
you get
it's hard.
older and Armageddon happens and you're just fighting for survival and you're just rubbing sticks together to make fire. I don't know. You know, but you guys have been amazing, and I sort of feel like we should probably just move back to the music part. But again, like as I have all the lights on and I can make eye contact with you, most of you seem like you're really enjoying yourselves, and I can't tell you what a privilege it is to be able to get up every night and do what we do. And you're responsible for that. Even those of you that got free tickets and are related to us, it's still part of a bigger thing, and we appreciate it, and we never get sick of it, and we also we never take it for granted.
So thank you for being here. Give yourselves a round of applause.